You know, I suppose if I really cared, I could go and research this Andrew Tate character and be like, I shall crack the Andrew Tate.
How do you use this many books as props and not be into research or anything? Like, look, I see your backdrop, Caleb. You were trying to flex that you read. I get it. You read. Cool. You can't read anything about one other person?
You're not intensely following some case and you just hear that something happened with somebody, don't dogpile. Right? There's all kinds of people who don't know anything about me.
Well, there's some people who do because they are victims of you, Caleb. You shouldn't be a content creator. You should probably be investigated because this shit is pretty f***ed up. You probably know that Caleb Maupin is back after the whole sex cult stuff, but I want to know, what does Caleb Maupin think about Andrew Tate? The answer may surprise you. Do you see this? Not what you think.
My opinion about Andrew Tate's arrest. Look, I'll just be honest with you. All right, I'm just going to tell you what I know about Andrew Tate. This is all I know about Andrew Tate. This is it, right? A couple weeks ago, I started getting inbox messages from people saying, "Hey, Caleb, have you heard they're working with Andrew Tate?" And I didn't know who that was, and I didn't reply. And they replied, "Aren't you mad about it? Here's all this negative information about Andrew Tate." I'd never heard of Andrew Tate before. Viking Dave, I'm with you. I don't know who Andrew Tate is. I have no idea who Andrew Tate is. And then you send me a resume about how bad he is. And I see that, and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know who he is. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. You know, a lot of people.
He did the same thing for trans ideology after I exposed him. I had a viral video. It was basically that clip with him, that woman, huge ass TERF who works in the UK, talking about, like, you know, she's a member of the Communist Party of the UK, which is basically just like this really big hate organization at this point now. And her being like, well, it's gender ideology. Oh, Matitahu, thank you.
Matitahu gave Matitahu tier 1 subscription.
So she was straight up like, well, it's trans ideology that's indoctrinating the children. And then Caleb's like, these are facts. Here we go. And then afterwards, after Thought Slime went after him and was like, yeah, this guy's a massive bigot. Nazbol. He's Nazbol because this is him speaking at a Nazbol conference with the founder of the Nazbol Party. He's sitting right beside, that's Alexander Dugin. That's the guy who founded National Bolshevism. He's a fascist. He's an avowed fascist. He's like an out and proud fascist. He doesn't hide that. He doesn't wear masks on his fascism. It's in his writing. Yes, definitely. I mean, he does hate liberalism. That much is true as well. He does hate liberalism, but he's also a fascist. And fascists also, that's not like a necessary trait to absolve him of being a fascist. And so that was Caleb Maupin sitting beside a fascist, talking at the National Bolsheviks conference. And then he got real upset, and his defense in that time was that he doesn't know about trans ideology. I don't know about trans ideology. I don't know anything. I have fought for human rights my entire life. I don't know anything about this, you know? And it's like, motherfucker, you have a show, you have a platform, you're on fucking RT. If you're gonna talk about this shit, then you gotta learn. You can't, like, if you want to consider yourself an activist or someone who fights for human rights, like, you would never go on a fucking TV show and then be like, well, I don't know anything about indigenous people. I've never heard of indigenous. It's the first time someone's told me about indigenous people.
Anyone who ever associates with me gets sent a big, long manifesto about how evil I am. And I don't endorse that. So when people send me, aren't you mad at so-and-so for associating with so-and-so? Here's a big, long manifesto about... I just ignore it. That's my response, right? And please.
So, Caleb's telling the story right now of how someone, a fan of his, in his audience, in his community, emailed him and said, hey, by the way, just before you make any kind of statement on Andrew, you know, the human trafficking pedophile, here's information on him and all the horrifying things that he's done. Just so you know. And he's like, well, people have lied about me in the past. They've lied about what I say and do. So I don't care. I don't know anything about, I don't know who that is.
If anyone sends you first of all, if you're on these streams long enough, eventually they're going to send you a manifesto about how evil I am, and I would ignore that. And if you send me a manifesto about it,
yeah, but probably pretty sound advice considering how bad your rap sheet is at this point. Fucking sex cult, spanking, fucking exploiting human beings, forcing them to live in conditions and work for you, like just genuinely evil human being.
hey, Caleb, did you know that like Jenny Lynn, who's in your chat, once talked to a guy who's friends with somebody who did blah, 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 blah. I'm not interested. I really am not interested. That's how cancel culture works. So I had never heard of Andrew Tate.
Yes, cancel culture.
I got cancel culture messages sent to me.
I know. They were just like, he's apparently bragging about having sex with 16-year-olds. Like, that's cancel culture. No.
Aren't you mad that you're associating with this person who's blah, 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 blah? I don't know if he's blah, 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 blah. That's just what you said. I really have no interest in.
You just said that you got a list of information. Did you read any of the info? Did you go to the links, or were you just like, well, I mean, it's in the Daily Beast. They're a shitlib organization. It doesn't really mean that he actually wants to have sex with children. Well, okay, well, that's a video clip of him saying that he's had sex with a 16-year-old. Well, I don't know. What's the context? Was the 16-year-old consenting? We'll never know.
Doing the research to find out. They're doing their own thing. They're not associated with me in any way. So I don't care. And that was my response. And I just ignored those messages. And that was that. I just don't care. I don't care. And so I'm just like, all these people, I got 3 or 4 messages of people wanting me to do something about it. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm not going to do something about it. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
you made
get on
this
the
into a
internet.
video.
I denounce. I'm not going to do that. I don't care. I just don't care enough. And
it's really easy. You can denounce pedophile human traffickers real simple. Like, I'll show you. I denounce Matt Gaetz. I denounce Andrew Tate. I denounce them. They're horrifying, disgusting human beings. Yes. I would hope they spend the rest of their lives in a cell. Yes, in a prison cell, so they can no longer harm other people anymore. It's really easy to say and do.
And if there was any reason for me to do something like that, it wouldn't be because somebody inboxed me. All right, I'll just tell you that. I suppose if I really cared, I could go and research this Andrew Tate character and be like, I shall crack the Andrew Tate.
How do you use this many books as props and not be into research or anything? Like, look, I see your backdrop, Caleb. You're trying to flex that you read. I get it. You read. Cool. You can't read anything about one other person? This was the limit?
I don't care. So that's what happened. And I just don't care. I just don't care. And I'm glad you
made a video about it.
Because I just don't care. I've learned after years of being on the internet.
Wait, is this whole video about how you don't care? Fucking epic. Andrew Tate, what's my opinion? It may shock you. I don't care.
I've learned not to care. So then,
his voice is similar to Fuentes.
Today or yesterday, all of a sudden it was all over Twitter. Andrew Tate got arrested. And he had a Twitter war with Greta Thunberg, and then he got arrested.
Thunberg.
Again, I don't know who he is. I don't know why he got arrested. I don't know. I mean, I don't like Greta Thunberg, but
why?
He's an asshole too. I don't know.
Wait, why? Why? I don't get it. Only the right hates her. And it's like, if there was a demonstrable list of things that she'd done that directly impacted the material conditions of right-wingers, then I would understand. It would be like, oh yeah, no, she has massive political power and has moved the pulse and stopped our dependence on oil and oil profiteering. She single-handedly has accomplished that. Then it would be like, oh shit, well I get why all of you hate her. It really seems more like all of you have just kind of like hyper-focused all your weird misogyny into this kind of like, well, here's our anti-climate change target. It's yes, let's go after a teenager and really say that she's so stupid and dumb and good. That'll be the angle. That's how we'll do it.
And I don't care enough to know. I just don't care. And I just don't care, and I don't like this. I don't like it, right?
What don't you like?
And honestly,
See, I don't like human trafficking and I don't like child abuse. So I know, low-hanging fruit, very brave. But I can condemn those who engage in those things and or promote them and or brag about them. Like, if there's someone who's like bragging about fucking a 16-year-old, I'll be like, well, that's a pedophile. That's a fucking pedophile right there. That's fucked up. Yeah, that person should probably be not allowed to keep doing that. Not allowed to keep offending.
I think by not, I made a tweet. I said, who is Andrew Tate? Why was he arrested? Why is this all over my Twitter feed? And I let people respond. And I got a variety of different responses. And all those responses said to me, yeah, stay out of this one. You don't know anything about it. And, you know, I feel like it is my obligation, if I don't know what's going on, to stay out of it. And that's what
Did you make it into a video? Oh man, just made a video about how he's going to stay out of this issue because he shouldn't speak on it because he has no knowledge or authority on it and how responsible he is. This is just a weird ass flex. This whole video is a weird ass flex. What does Caleb think of Andrew Tate? Not what you think. You know what? True. It is not where I saw this video going. I didn't think the whole video would just be about bragging about how much you don't care about this topic and why you shouldn't talk about it.
But I would encourage you.
Because that's a very embarrassing thing to upload. That's such an embarrassing thing to do. Like, it'd be one thing if you just said this in your stream, but then to make it into its own video with a thumbnail, topic, and clickbait all together. Holy shit, Caleb! How do you keep doing this?
If you don't know about somebody, you're not intensely following some case, and you just hear that something happened with somebody, don't dogpile. Right? There's all kinds of people who don't know anything about me. They know nothing about me. They know nothing about what I stand for. They know nothing about anything.
Well, there's some people who do because they are victims of you, Caleb, and they have said, and their testimonies are that you force them to have to be in deplorable living conditions as well as work for you for, again, not fair wages, and also were expected to perform sexual favors on you as a result of their living conditions, again, being threatened should they not do that. So that's fucked. You shouldn't be a content creator. You should probably be investigated because this shit is pretty fucked up.
Right? They just saw some tweet or saw some dumb YouTube video, and based on that, they like go into this whole thing about me. Well, I really would appreciate people not do that. Now, if people watch these streams, listen to what I have to say, and then want to, you know, disagree with me, that's on them. But like, people think they know about somebody by reading a tweet. I don't know anything about this Andrew Tate guy. I don't know anything about it. Right? And I know also that there's all kinds of stuff about me on the internet.
It just keeps going in circles at this point. I have no idea what I'm talking about. The topic of the video that you have clicked on, the dialogue, the clickbait, the title. I don't know anything about the title. I have no idea. But people say things about me.
That's bullshit. And that if all you knew about me was what you saw in some tweets or what somebody inboxed you, you wouldn't know a damn thing about me either. So I just don't talk about Andrew Tate unless you really know about it. Unless you really, you know who this guy is, you know the case, you know the details.
I'm here to tell you I have nothing to tell you, right?
And that's just how I feel. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, right? Maybe this guy is an awful person who deserved to be arrested. Maybe he's not. I don't know enough about it.
Oh my God.
And the problem with social media is everyone feels obligated.
Fucking I think, therefore I am. All I know is that I know nothing.
When the mob on social media is saying one thing, everyone feels this obligation to agree. It's like, oh, look, all these people can't be wrong. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. Yes, they can.
Tricky social media, lockstep, woke mind virus saying that pedophiles are a bad thing, that maybe grown men, adults, shouldn't have sex with 16-year-olds, fucking outperforming each other, virtue signaling, cucks, snowflakes, every single one of them.
Yes, they can. All those people can be wrong, but all those people can also be right. So I don't know. I have no idea who Andrew Tate is. I think someone told me he used to be a boxer or an MMA fighter or something, and he does a social media channel. Okay, I've never watched his channel. I don't consume his content. I don't consume his content. I've never watched his channel, and I don't care. And I have no idea why he was arrested, and I don't know enough about it. And I don't know enough about it. And I have been the victim of people on social media all,
Oh my God, this is like the sixth time you've gone in this loop.
thinking they
It's like, I don't know who Andrew Tate is. People have said things about me. I don't know who Andrew Tate is. People said things about me. I don't know who Andrew Tate is.
And just when they don't know about something,
How is this a 10-minute video?
really had to look into, I would do a thorough deep dive investigation. Those are your only two options. I am tired of this, I am tired of this culture where it's like, oh, the Twitter mob said something.
Oh my God, same loop. Looping again.
And,
it's like, what, 6 loops?
If I were to say something, it would be coming from a position of not knowing.
Oh my
and that's
God.
a reason.
Oh my God, Caleb. Holy fuck. How long do I have to listen to this? Just over and over and over. Yeah, I don't know why the far right has this thing about Greta. I genuinely don't get it. It seems like all of you are hyper focused on someone who hasn't actually like ended climate change. Like I could see if it's like, well, we now collectively as a global planet would like to impose the Greta Thunberg tax, and every single corporation that is responsible for contributing to climate change will now have to pay a windfall tax, and every single person will get benefits from that, especially those who are suffering the most under climate change in a lot of impoverished nations. And this is decreed. If that had happened, then I would understand right-wingers being like, oh, we hate Greta. But as of right now, it just seems like you've got some weird shit you got to work out on your own, but you're just kind of like focusing it on Greta more than anything.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demmel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arney, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojack, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.